What's up, everyone? Apologize for the awkward intro here. Did a review for last night's Lucha Underground with Chris Phoenix, and unfortunately, the second half of the show disappeared off of YouTube. YouTube cut the show off abruptly. Don't know how. Don't know why. I didn't lose internet connection because I was still able to do the hangout with Chris, but then all of a sudden I noticed I had no viewers and I don't know what happened. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the first half with me and Chris, and then I am going to, because unfortunately we lost the second half of it, it's just going to be me solo talking about the rest of the episode. So here's the first half, and then you'll see me just solo for the second half. All right, we're live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. And I'm not alone tonight to share some Lucha love. Mr. Chris Phoenix is with me this evening, dude. How are you?
A little work for the wear, but I'm all right, Baron. You know, a little bit here and there. You know what I'm saying?
You sound like Papa Cueto after a 3-day binge, dude.
It is not in your best interest to insult me. Okay, Papa Cueto. I am not your papa. I am your jefe. Deal with it. This guy over here.
Dude, you can just take the whole show, dude. Go ahead, man. Just do Papa Cueto for like a half an hour.
My throat would kill me. I shudder to think how he has to do it every day.
Oh my God. When he was doing it, we're just gonna, as long as we're talking about Papa Cueto.
Yeah.
When he was doing the announcements for the the gift of the gods, he was announcing the medal holders, or excuse me, medallion holders.
Yes.
Medallion is not the medal, it's medallion. When he was announcing them, oh my God. I thought he was going to fall over when he was announcing the Mac.
Yeah.
He was in rare form tonight. I love him. I absolutely love the Papa Cueto. And he was actually getting a Papa Cueto chant tonight, dude.
Mm-hmm.
How cool was that?
Yeah. He was a good one.
Unreal. I'm seeing more love for Papa Cueto than hate. That first week was kind of rough. People were like, "Oh, what the hell
Like,
is
who's
that?"
this guy?
Yeah. Well, that's Dario Cueto in this guy. No, it's not.
Yeah.
You shut up with that.
Yeah. Yeah, he took quick to that. Absolutely.
And just the fact that he's online and he's talking to people. I mean, like I said, I don't know who's running it. I'd love to know. I haven't. Well, actually, because he's on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And on Facebook, I messaged him and said, "Hey, thanks for sharing the, Smash This Podcast stuff that first, couple weeks. That's, that means a lot to me. That's pretty cool." I never got a reply back. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. It's still cool, though. It's still cool. I'm not going to be like, "Oh, he's a dick. He doesn't even respond." I mean, whatever. I'm not going to be mad about it.
Nah, we're wrestling fans, not social media enthusiasts.
Yeah, right. What are you talking about, man? I'm up to X amount of followers, man. No, I'm kidding.
Be the brand, J-Bone. Be the brand.
Be the brand. That's right. So this is episode 6. I didn't write it down, but I typed it. Break the Machine. The Machine. Styles is in the chat this evening. Lucha, Lucha, Lucha. That's right, Styles. We're doing some Lucha. Hope you are well this evening, Styles. Thanks for chiming in. So we actually got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 matches tonight, dude.
Nice.
We got the final Ancient Aztec Medallion match, which was a nice surprise. We got a debut tonight. I did not know. See, I thought I knew everyone who was debuting or whatever
Mhm.
on Lucha Underground. I was wrong. I did not know everyone. I don't claim to know everything, but you see stuff in the trailer and it's like, oh, okay, so we're getting this new guy, this new girl or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We got Paul London with his Rabbit Tribe, Mala Suerte, and Saltador versus the debut of Desmond X. AKA Desmond Xavier.
Now, for those of you out there who watch multiple wrestling programs, not just our own Lucha Underground, you'll know of Desmond Xavier from the X Division faction within Impact Wrestling, formerly known as TNA. He was a top contender for the X Division Championship for the past year or so, facing off against a lot of the people that you would see normally at Lucha Underground, like Phoenix and Pentagon, as well as Drago. But he's also faced against the X Division champion in a losing effort against Matt Sydal at least once. He definitely, I believe, fought Taiji Ishimori at the time when he was champion as well.
Yeah, he was all over Impact Wrestling the last, I'd say, give or take a year or so. That X Cup, I didn't watch all of it. I still want to go back and watch all of it because I only caught like half the matches. He won that X Cup, didn't he?
I believe he won something. If I remember correctly, he may have won the Sony 6 tournament. If it wasn't him, it was Ishimori. It was one of them, but it was a major tournament.
I'm pretty sure it was the because they brought in Sammy Guevara too.
That's true.
And Ishimori and a handful of other guys. And that was the introduction when they started bringing in the Lucha Underground guys. The was it no, not Phoenix. Who am I thinking of? Oh, Drago. That's when they started bringing in Drago and Aerostar and those guys, and then they started bringing in Phoenix, and so it was like the start of like the AAA sect of Lucha Underground guys, as opposed to guys like Johnny Impact and Taya and stuff. It was a little more like south of the border guys, Agent is in the chat this evening. Good evening to you, sir. I'm really loving this cross promotion on wrestling. Yeah, me too, man. It's the hottest thing right now.
According to the wiki, the 2017 was a GFW Super X Cup tournament, and it was part of Impact Wrestling at the Impact Zone in Orlando. Started in July 16th, so roughly a year ago, ended about August. ACH, Andrew Everett, Davey Richards, Desmond Xavier, Drago, Idris Ibrahim, Sammy Guevara, and Taiji Ishimori. And Desmond Xavier did indeed win that tournament.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, because I forgot some of the guys that were in there. ACH, one of the best.
Cruiserweights and light heavyweights in wrestling today, prominently featured in Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor, Evolve, and now he's just all over the place. He just didn't he just do some New Japan stuff too? No.
Jonathan Gresham did, but not ACH.
What am I thinking of? Oh, maybe he was on MLW.
Perhaps.
He was on something.
Mm-hmm.
My head's starting to spin. I got to focus. All right, so so the debut of Desmond X, very cool. Unfortunately, did not get much of a reaction. He did not get the reaction as like a Jack Hager swagger guy got.
No Jake. But he did get quite the pop. The believers were definitely chanting for him, and a lot of people who knew who he was would definitely sing his praises and were behind him during this match. Not a lot of love for Paul London, despite his new duds and his clean shaven, weathered look.
Yeah, certainly. And Matt Stryker was commenting a lot on this, on how evil he looked. You know, it was like a turn to the dark side, a heel turn, if you will.
Oh yeah, courtesy of the great Killer Cross.
Yes, yeah. Having a new leader guiding him as part of the Rabbit tribe. Did I say Wabbit?
Be very, very quiet. We're Wesley Wabbit.
That comes from growing up on so many Bugs Bunny cartoons. It just sneaks out of me once in a while.
He don't know me very well, do he?
Oh, that was more...
a little bit more Peter.
Yeah, Peter, yeah. Just screwing up all the cartoons tonight. Jeez Louise. Hell of a match between these two. And not only a debut for Desmond X, a win.
Yeah, certainly well deserved as far as his competition within the match, but not necessarily as a debuting superstar who just came out of nowhere to win against a grizzled vet like Paul London. And I fully expected Paul London to do better this time around, but he will be at the brunt of the consequences for his new leader, for his failure against Desmond X.
Oh yeah, I feel bad for him, if not the whole tribe. I mean,
yeah. It's like one of those things where in the army, of like one person messes up, everybody else gets it.
Yeah. I have a really bad feeling about the guys from the Rabbit tribe. It's like I think their happy, lucky days may be numbered.
Oh yeah,
to say the least.
That leprechaun's on acid.
What? Oh shit! All right. So then, after that match, we get Papa Cueto coming out, saying that next week we are getting a Gift of the Gods match with all 7 medal winners over the last few weeks. Then he introduces them. So we have Dragon Azteca Jr., King Cuerno, Ivelisse. I'm not going to try to imitate Papa Cueto because I'll completely lose my voice. Desmond X, Son of Havoc, along with the Mac. Dear God, drinking water, folks. I swear to God. And Mil Muertes with Katrina comes out. And just when I think you were just getting okay, here's your winners. No. He's, you thought Dario was bad, was stirring up the pot. No, his dad's just as bad, if not worse. Puts on an impromptu, over-the-top battle royal. And
where the winner picks the loser.
Yeah, the winner picks the loser. As in the guy who's not going to be invited back next week for the Gift of the Gods match. So it's actually going to be 6 instead of 7. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a swerve there. It's like, wait, they're doing what?
Keeping the action live here in the temple. And we're definitely better for it, because the quick match that it was actually somewhat action packed, a little bit of a turn here and there, but in the end, we saw both a surprise elimination, some devastation, and ultimately a sacrifice that led to the winner being
the Mac. The crowd loves that Mac. Oh my God. Their return of the Mac chant is just awesome. He's got a lot of love in that town, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start calling him the Mac of LA.
Compton.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that the sacrifices you're referring to is Son of Havoc and the Mac being the last two guys in the ring after they eliminated Mil Muertes and Dragon Azteca Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a devastating elimination to add to that. And then and they're looking at each other, and I'm like, oh my God, this team can't catch a break as far as being thrown in a situation where they're always at each other's necks. This is the third time this season.
Uh-huh.
Crazy, and so and Swerve wasn't out there. At least I don't think he was.
No.
He wasn't like in a perched up someplace like he has been before.
Mm-hmm.
Which would have made sense, but yeah, Son of Havoc goes back to the ropes and jumps like right past the Mac out of the ring.
Takes a dive on every other superstar sitting on the outside.
Yeah, just eliminates himself. Like, what a shocker.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously saving, how do I say it? Saving face for himself as the newer member in the Trios, team.
Yep.
His own team, trying not to ruffle feathers,
Yeah.
Smart, really smart. And obviously, not taking that chance of pissing off the Mac. And if he did lose, that'd be a really easy elimination right there and not have the chance.
Exactly.
So, and honestly, he was really testing the Mac there too. The Mac could have still eliminated him and been like, hey, that was easy. You're out. He didn't. Mm-hmm. He picked Mil Muertes.
That's right.
Smart.
Yep. As point blank, he said, me, the Mac doesn't fear anybody. Mil Muertes scared the shit out of me. So I'm like, yeah, brother. So yeah, eliminate him. Let him go on a walkabout. Find his groove or whatever. There's gonna be hell to pay when that match comes back. There's gonna be some interference, some collusion, some retribution, if you will, for eliminating him from the contest entirely. So when it comes down to it, oh yeah, Mil Muertes is gonna come back. He's probably gonna steal the damn belt after somebody wins it.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Plus, it's gonna add tension between him and more tension, if there isn't already some, between him and Katrina.
Oh yeah.
Last week he won against Cage, mm-hmm. and she left the ring without him and did like across the ring, kiss of death on him. It's like, what
I'm done with your punk ass. That's what I saw.
Like she doesn't need him. And I know this is like reflecting backwards to the last episode, but it's like, man, I got a really bad feeling. This is not going to end well for one, if not both of them.
You know what? It would be the strangest thing in the world if we got to see Mil Muertes not so much as a face turn, but maybe as a tweener. You see, like he would destroy her for the sake of good to try to set things right again in the world by taking out the bad guys and taking her out at the same time, but ultimately standing on his own.
Yeah, I mean, he could stand to use a little luck, and if he takes her out somehow, some way, does he gain her power? There's that whole twist too. So
she may have Phoenix's powers of resurrection, but she's no longer caught between worlds, which means technically she's tangible and mortal.
Oh.
If you follow the lore, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think she has. I mean, if I'm guessing right,
mm-hmm.
trying to think of like, okay, where she is, how much power she had before, where she was just like turning guys to ash. Remember
Yeah.
the disciples of death or whatever they were
Yeah.
called?
Yeah. You had it right.
Thinking about that kind of power that she had, does she have that back now? Does she have that much power to where she's like whole and complete again? That's what I want to know.
I think her spirit powers were a manifestation of her being between worlds, but that remains to be seen.
Yes, we will. So, Bill Muertes, odd man out, and the Mac is the winner. So, we'll get the Gift of the Gods championship match next week. Next up, Vibra with Cobra Moon versus Johnny Mundo,
Mm-hmm.
the mayor of the Slam Town, with Taya. Oh my goodness, dude. I'd call this match of the episode.
Match of the night. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Dude, and to see where, not that Vibra was bad last season, but you can see from where they taped about 2 years ago now,
Uh-huh.
just over 2 years ago,
Yeah.
his development, the evolution of. All right, so yeah, Chris and I were talking about the match between Johnny Mundo, Vibra, and I was just starting a discussion on how it looked like Vibra between the last few seasons have changed, and just an incredible difference. I mean, I'd have to go back to the last season, and I don't remember everything he did, or even how much he appeared, but you can tell that he is making a big, a lot of big changes. From what I heard over the last couple of years, he trained a lot with Johnny Mundo. Because Mundo's got a ring in his backyard, for crying out loud. I mean, that's just crazy. Doesn't everybody have a ring in their backyard? So, and knowing that and rewatching this match now, you can tell it was highly choreographed, but it's not a bad thing because the things that they all did in this match they were just crazy. The moves were just insane. The Ranas, Mundo jumping off the top rope onto the cartwheel flip onto Cobra Moon. Yeah, and that was, thought he was going to be jumping on Vibra. No, he completely took out Cobra Moon. And all the interference from the outside just added to the chaos of the match between, Taya and Cobra Moon going at it. That spear from Taya, good night. That was incredible. What else? Darewolf, Daga, Drago, Ricky Mundo showing up, trying to help, and ends up getting takeout from that moonsault from Vibra. Jeez Louise. I mean, I don't know what else he's going to do in this season, but just in this match, he has shown his athleticism and skills has superseded far from where he was a season or two ago. I'm trying to remember when he came in. It's a little fuzzy. I apologize, but I think it was last season. It's hard to remember because with the split and everything, what landed and where, and that's what happens when you grow older. You forget shit. So please excuse me on that. Because I haven't watched a lot of wrestling in my life or nothing. It's just, it all just kind of blurs together after a while. Oh, jeez. But yeah, this, with the interference from everyone, this war between the Worldwide Underground and the Reptile Tribe is really something special. It's really it's becoming a highlight in the first few weeks of this season of Lucha Underground. Vibra coming out with a win in this one that I don't know, it was a different kind of looking choke slam. Mundo was on the top rope. He grabbed him while he was up there and like, you know, flipped him. He didn't just slam him down. He like took him over him. So it was, yeah, I don't know what you call that, but anyways, it was a choke slam. Just you call it a modified, you know, everything's modified because he changed it up just a little bit. Modified choke slam. And then, you know, everyone comes back for another brawl, and that's where the segment ends and they go to commercial. Now it picks up with Exolicious, a little bite in this promo from the trailer where Exolicious is working out, and rewatching it now, it's like he's pretending that he's in Flashdance. Like that's completely like an 80s inspiration for this segment. And it's just funny. So instead of like on the chair and buckets of water coming down, then all of a sudden reality clicks and he's just leaning back and dripping, you know, bottled water on him, which is just kind of funny. And then goes to Jack Evans spying on him. Oh man, and just looking, he's still stewing over that loss in that one of the first couple episodes. He's still stewing, and looks down, and the doll is there, and Ricky's sitting there. What are you doing? And he's like, watching my enemy's every move. What are you doing? Getting my ass kicked from the Reptile Tribe. Could have used your help. And this, you know, this sassy confrontation is going back and forth now. Jack ends up storming off. Ricky picks up the doll. The doll starts talking to Ricky Mundo. Like full-on conversation. Like it started out with a little, little verbiage here and there. Now it's just a full-on conversation. How this has evolved. Oh my God. Creepy. So creepy. And we find out that Ricky is the one who killed Angelico. I mean, it was a speculation. It was, some probably assumed it. Now we know, because the doll says, why don't you do to him what you did to Angelico? And he's like, oh no, I couldn't do that. Johnny Mundo would be mad. She's like, who runs your life? You do. You run your own life. You can do what you want. Oh man, this makes me feel like, this is not going to go well for the Worldwide Underground. I feel I can't imagine what's going to come next, but I feel like this doll and Ricky are going to pick him off one by one. This could be like a maximum body count of all Lucha Underground seasons ever. We've already lost, it was like a trickle effect throughout the seasons, but when we did lose them, it was grand. It was like, oh my God, like that, like Councilman Delgado from last season. Cage takes the gauntlet, and just completely destroys his head, just punches him, just boom, destroys his head through a wall. the eyeball rolling. Oh, I could still see it. And then Cage walks out of the seat and it squish on the eyeball. Oh, God. It's classic. Vintage Cage. Oh, I'm kidding. Nuts. So that then leads into the main event. Right before this, there was a segment where, I mean, if you blinked, you missed it. In a Matt's Masks Mayhem podcast episode some weeks back, just as the season was starting, they were talking about a section of footage that they filmed for Lucha Underground, talking about being like on the way to the show and then sneaking in the back door. They showed that footage right before this match. So that was pretty cool. That, like I said, if you really had to look, but yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure that was them. That's the footage that they were talking about. So the fact that they got that little bit of cinematic screen time, besides being in the crowd and rooting on whoever, was pretty cool. So congrats, guys. There's I hope you guys get your check for that. All right, as we see in this last match between Pentagon Dark and Cage for the Lucha Underground Championship, this is just crazy, all over the place, chaotic. A lot of it outside of the ring, but the stuff that was inside of the ring was absolutely incredible. One thing that we learned, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna quote the guys from the MMM show along with this again, is if you're in the temple, and I hope I have that privilege someday, and you're anywhere around ringside, you have got to pay attention at all times, because these guys getting thrown into the crowd at all times, anytime, whenever. You need to pay attention. A couple guys in the start of this match just say you need to move. What did Vampiro say? He said, did you hear the joke about going to a wrestling match and a bowling game broke out or something like that? Just plowing over chairs. That was nuts. Great match, though, between these two. The athleticism, just two of my faves. Pentagon and Cage, just going at it. It's good stuff. I wish, and like I said, that's my only constructive criticism, is I wish this match could have been a little longer. I would have loved to see 20, 25 minutes between these guys. But hey, we get an hour show and they cram a lot of stuff in, so it is what it is. I'm not mad at it. I just want to see more. So so yeah, good match between these two. Pentagon Dark retaining his championship, but he does not break Cage's arm because he's not a man, he's a machine. So Cage actually is the one standing tall in the end of this segment, because he dumped Pentagon right on the title with an F5. Seeing as I don't think we're going to be seeing Lesnar too much more in the WWE, if Cage develops this as his new finisher, I'm completely behind it. Absolutely. Go ahead and take it. And I think he does it better anyways. I always see him more, so why not? So yeah, great episode, jam-packed, full of action, working a little on the storylines too, you know, with the whole Island of the Dolls storyline, the haunted doll, possessed, whatever, you know. So yeah, great stuff in this episode. We got the debut of Desmond Xavier. So welcome to Lucha Underground. You are one of my favorite cruiserweight type luchadors, wrestlers, and saw you in the X Cup amongst other places, and can't wait to see what else you do on this stage as well. So once again, Papa Cueto in rare form. Oh, backtracking. And what is to become of the Rabbit Tribe now that London did not prove himself? He did not win in that match. What is the White Rabbit going to do to the Rabbit Tribe because he lost? What are going to be the consequences? I shudder to think what could happen. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be violent. The Battle Royal was quick but fun. Vibra versus Johnny Mundo, match of the episode, absolutely hands down, along with the feud of the Worldwide Underground and the Reptile Tribe, just absolutely destroying each other. I love it. And of course, finishing up with Cage and Pentagon, bringing the house down. Great stuff. Thank you, Lucha Underground, for, you know, making just a solid TV show with wrestling in it, and a little bit of bowling too. So thanks for watching, folks. Yeah, sorry for the chopped up review. It's usually not like this, but thank you nonetheless. And make sure, if you're new to the channel, check out some of the other stuff while you're at it. And don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. See ya.